Hello, this is Bill Bullard with RCAF USA, the voice of the independent cattle producer in the United States of America. Well, the U.S. Department of Agriculture's Animal and Plant Health Inspection Service, known as APHIS, recently opened a public comment period regarding a request by pharmaceutical company Zoetis Incorporated to bring a modified version of the live foot and mouth disease virus, known as FMD, onto the mainland of the United States for purposes of manufacturing an FMD vaccine. Now, the foot and mouth disease virus is the most contagious disease known to cattle, hogs, sheep, deer, and other cloven-footed animals. The disease is extremely hard to control and has literally circumvented the globe. The disease has caused significant economic losses in the billions of dollars, and it is arguably more contagious than COVID-19, as it can be spread by wind currents, by vehicles, by clothing, and by meat contaminated with the virus. And that's why after the last outbreak of foot and mouth disease in the United States in 1929, Congress prohibited importing livestock and livestock products from any country where the disease existed. It also prohibited the introduction of the live foot and mouth disease virus onto the mainland of the United States, except for purposes of research and study. And since the 50s, the only U.S. laboratory that has researched and studied the live foot and mouth disease virus was on an island off the coast of New York, known as Plum Island. But today, all of that is changing. Even before the Zoetis request, APHIS had already decided to allow the introduction of the foot and mouth disease virus onto the mainland in a government laboratory in Manhattan, Kansas, and that's still under construction. In addition, APHIS has systematically relaxed import restrictions and now allows the importation of livestock products from countries where the disease is known to be endemic, such as in Brazil and Namibia, Africa. Now Zoetis is leading the charge to begin using a modified live foot and mouth disease virus to manufacture foot and mouth disease vaccine in College Station, Texas. However, current law disallows the introduction of the live foot and mouth disease virus for any purpose other than for research and study, not for commercial manufacturing. Zoetis knows this, and in its extremely short 3-paragraph position paper submitted to APHIS, it claims its modified live foot and mouth disease virus should not be considered a live foot and mouth disease virus under current law, and therefore Congress should not have to pass new legislation. So here are the troubling parts. First, neither APHIS's notice seeking public comments nor the actual petition by Zoetis included in APHIS's docket contains a single citation to a single scientific study that concludes that the modified live foot and mouth disease virus that Zoetis wants to use to manufacture a vaccine is completely incapable of causing the foot and mouth disease. Apparently, we're just supposed to take the government's word for it. But second, APHIS is asking questions that suggest the agency may intend to reinterpret current law to accommodate Zoetis' request. For example, APHIS specifically asked for answers to the following questions. First, how should the language of current law that bans the live foot and mouth disease virus from the mainland be interpreted in light of significant technical developments in the field of virology since its enactment? And APHIS notes that introduced is not defined within current law and asks how should introduced into the mainland United States be interpreted? And finally, APHIS asked, based on the information supplied, should the modified live foot and mouth disease virus be considered a live foot and mouth disease virus as prohibited under current law? And specifically, should the modified live foot and mouth disease virus, which APHIS claims cannot cause FMD, be considered as outside the scope of current law? So our position is this. APHIS has no authority to legislate. That authority is vested in Congress. And Congress made no distinction between a modified live foot and mouth disease virus or a wild live foot and mouth disease virus. Therefore, APHIS should not effectively change the law by carving out exceptions to the current law's language. The law states the live foot and mouth disease virus can only be brought onto the mainland for purposes of study and research. It says nothing about going beyond that to engage in commercial manufacturing. If APHIS wishes to grant Zoetis' petition, it should first go to Congress and ask that the law be changed. Anything less would be federal government overreach. We urge everyone to comment on this proposal on or before the September 14th deadline. And you can go to www.regulations.gov and type in petition to manufacture FMD vaccine and click on the comment box to submit your comments. And you may want to add that as we have learned from COVID-19, we should not take any risks of introducing foot and mouth disease onto the mainland and should instead close our borders to any country where foot and mouth disease is known to exist. Well, thank you for your help and good luck with your comments. And if you'd like to learn more about RCAF USA, you can go to our website at www.r-calfusa.com. Thank you and goodbye.